Hey guys, so how are you doing so far? The reason why I ask is because I've given you a lot of information very quickly, and I know it's going to take some time, and it might take you going back through this series once or twice or 12 times, and that's fine too. In this video, I want to talk about making connections with intentionality and staying top of mind throughout the year. So, one of the things that you may or may not know is that you cannot be a successful real estate agent and be a secret agent at the same time. It doesn't work. I promise you. I tried it. It does not work. One of the things I think, especially if you don't have a core of self-confidence, is that we are no good at promoting ourselves because we're worried about selling ourselves rather than selling our service. And again, this requires the emotional detachment of yourself to your service. This requires you to take you out of your sales process and think of it as a sales journey and to make really, really great connections. Again, relationship build, but also know that you are selling a service. You are selling a service. And if they say no to that service, that is okay. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to what's happening there. And so, again, when we're thinking about building connections, what interests you? What are you doing? Are you the dog person? Go build a community around the dog person. Are you the Pokemon Go person? I am not joking. My husband loves Pokemon Go. And so if I were the Pokemon Go person, I would build up a community around Pokemon Go with all my wild mannerisms and who I am and what I do well and the fact that I'm very expressive with my hands. And I would do Pokemon Go meetups at the mall and make them register through Eventbrite so you got all their email addresses so that you can check in with them once a week, right? And put your tone and your voice and your inflections and all of that into the email so that people connect with you because they're attracted to you. And they will use you for your real estate business. So again, you are doing the attraction marketing with yourself. However, when you're going through the sales journey of them buying or selling real estate or referring somebody to you, you personally need to remove yourself from that and realize that it's your service that you're offering. And the thing about selling is that there has to be three components: know, like, and trust. So if they know you exist, they have to know you exist. They have to know you exist as a real estate agent, right? I've said that 3 times now. I do mean it. They have to know you exist as a real estate agent. So keeping that information to yourself does not help them know that. But also, not intentionally outreaching to people like you does not help you with that. So do both of those things, please. Set your profile up. You can go scope out my profile to see how I have set myself up for the knowledge and putting them into one place for the information. They have to like you, right? Why am I doing video right now? Because you have to like me. You have to know who I am. You have to know my mannerisms, the way that I speak, the background that I have behind me. What are the things that you are doing to be likable? And I'll tell you, video is a very powerful tool because they hear your voice and they see your face and they see the way you move. And there's more rapport building by speaking to somebody through video than there is with long form posts. I mean, long form posts are great, but they don't do the same thing that video does, right? Or just a couple of check-in places like, hey, I'm learning about real estate today. Good for you. What does that mean for them, right? So be likable. And then the third is trust. This is where the sales journey begins. And so the trust part of it is answering their questions before they even ask them. Because you can say, I am a really great agent. And let me tell you, you may be smarter than a lot of other agents out there. I know. I get it. You probably are. But if you're not answering their questions, if you're not providing value, if you're just assuming they know who you are and that they would like you and that they should trust you to do business because you're great at your job, it doesn't matter because you haven't communicated that to them. You have to let them know. And the way you do that, again, is by answering their questions through video in some sort of capacity where they also know you're a real estate agent so they can make that decision to use you and or to refer their friends and family to you. What are you going to do afterwards, though? So through their buying journey, obviously you're going to make sure that you do a great job. You're going to have touch points in there. We'll talk about that in the next video. But afterwards, how are you staying top of mind with them? Are you asking them for testimonials? Are you sending them part of your newsletter? And not just a newsletter about how great the market is. Nobody cares until they're ready to buy, really. But a newsletter about what's happening in your community. Or again, going back to what your interests are, when the next Pokemon Go meetup is, or whatever, when the next adoption, pet adoption thing is, whatever it is, just make sure you're doing something that connects back to who you are. So again, it keeps the rapport and the attraction marketing going with you. We will talk a little bit more about this, but make sure, no matter what, you have a systemized way of keeping up with your people, because 85% of people that close with you will say you did a great job, but if you don't have systematic touch points and follow-ups afterwards, after 2 years, only 9% will remember your name. Those are National Association of Realtor statistics for real estate agents. Don't be a statistic. Be better than that. You are better than that. All right, next video is coming up. If you have questions about sphere development or cultivating your interest to have a sphere, post them below. We'll answer them for the benefit of everyone. Talk to you guys soon.